What's up everyone, Scott the TroutHammer here, back with another top 5 video for you guys, and this one's going to be a little bit different. Now I normally do these as top 5 lures, but this is a specific subject that I wanted to do for a little while now, and it's actually something I get asked on a weekly basis. Yeah, every week now I get quite a few comments and quite a few messages coming through, so I'm finally just going to make a video of this for you guys. It's going to be my top 5 pieces of advice for new YouTube fishermen. I actually have a whole playlist of these videos. They're mostly lure videos, but if you guys want to check out that playlist, I'll put a link for it up here in this corner. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there and the notify bell next to it so you're going to be the first to see all the great content that's going to come from this channel. Now, I don't normally do this in my top 5 videos, but I'm going to take advantage of a really busy weekend for me and a really stormy weekend for that matter and give some shout outs. So thank you to each and every name that's going to be scrolling up to my right here. These are my shout outs for the week that I do in the videos that I record over the weekend, and thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. It means the world to me. I really can't do this without you guys, and I'm never going to stop saying thank you for this. So yeah, like I said, I get asked a lot now, what tips would I give for people wanting to get into YouTube for fishing? And I really can't give like one bit of advice because a lot of it is really contextual, but I did decide to narrow it down to my top 5 tips. Now, there are a lot of channels out there that are dedicated to things like studying your metrics, studying your view rate, studying your click-through rate, and all those things, and to use your metrics to help you grow. None of that is going to be in this video. There are plenty of channels out there. Number one that I recommend is Roberto Blake. He's the guy that I study the most from his videos from personally. I recommend checking out his channel too. This is going to be a lot of, I guess I would call them unteachables. These are going to be things that happen for the most part behind the scenes of filming YouTube. These are going to be things that you guys have never seen from my channel, but I mean, when, for example, it's taken me like 7 tries to get this intro correct. But enough talk, let's get into my top 5 pieces of advice for new YouTube fishermen.
Yep, you saw me. There you go, guys. That's a fish. There you go, guys. That's unreal! Oh, this is such an awesome looking fish. Oh, yeah! Alright, guys, check that out.
So let's say you're in the situation I was in back in the early winter of 2017 where you just bought a camera, you've been fishing a long time, and people have been asking you to make a channel, and now you want advice. You want some sort of like roadmap to help you be successful right out the gate. Now, I was fortunate enough to be surrounded with some people in Oregon that have been on YouTube fishing for a while and were able to sort of coach me along, give me a lot of advice, and a lot of the advice that I'm going to give is some of the stuff that they gave to me I'm going to pass on again. These are 5 fundamental things that I will not change, that I will not forget for this channel. There's been a lot of rules that I've completely thrown out over the years. You start out thinking I absolutely have to do this, and like less than a year in, you find it's completely unnecessary. These are going to be things that you should not ever change. So my number 5 piece of advice for fishermen looking to get into YouTube is, if you take yourself too seriously, you shouldn't be on YouTube. This is one of those things that I founded this channel on, is that I'm not just going to show my success of fishing. I'm also going to show the failures, because that's the reality of fishing. A lot of the comments and a lot of the questions I've been getting lately is, how am I such a good surf perch fisherman? And I tell them I'm not. You know, when I post a video, it's a video of me catching fish in a trip, or it's a compilation of a couple fishing trips where I caught a few fish here and there, but I tell them that I post probably 1 out of 7 surf fishing trips I take. 2 things with that. 1, I've never quit. There's people that absolutely take themselves way too seriously, that if they don't get something right out the gate, if they don't like start doing something right, they're going to stop doing that. And I remind people when they act like that, when they, come to me for advice and they have that attitude, is remember, every teacher began as a student. Every master began as an apprentice. You are not going to begin YouTube as a master. And it discourages people. So many people think they're going to walk right into YouTube and they're going to start blowing up in subscribers, they're going to start blowing up in views. It takes a lot of time to get traction going, and you can't take yourself too seriously. If you take yourself too seriously going out the gate, you're going to burn out, you're going to fizzle out, you're going to hate yourself, you're going to quit YouTube. You're not going to be successful because you're not going to think long term. Not only that, but no one wants to watch a YouTube channel where the guy is only stone-faced, serious, and you tell when you look at people like that, they think I'm the best at what I'm doing, they think I have the best advice, they think people need to subscribe to me and no one else. Never have that attitude. Can't tell you how many times I've asked you guys to subscribe to another channel because I want everyone to be successful. If someone's doing something good, I want them to get the kudos they deserve. And I'm not ashamed to admit that there actually are some channels that I stopped watching because I could tell the guy takes himself way too seriously. And you know, it's not just for fishing, it's for other things also, but just like, you can tell they have this attitude about themselves that they're the best at what they're doing, and I can't watch that because I know I'm not the best at what I'm doing. I can't relate to that. Don't take yourself too seriously, and that kind of segues into my number 4 piece of advice. My number 4 piece of advice, and this is actually a big one, is don't be afraid to suck. So I have a couple pieces of advice that I have written in the flyleaf of my Bible, stuff to remind me every day of what's good, what's true, and 2 of those things, one of them is the path to life lies not around failure, but through it. The other one is I refuse to tiptoe through life to arrive safely at death. What that means in this context for getting started on YouTube is don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to post a video that no one's going to watch. My first year, I can't tell you how thankful I was, in retrospect, especially now, but how thankful I was to look back on those videos and go, this video isn't getting a lot of views. This is something people don't want to watch. I'm going to change the subject matter. But also, don't be afraid to post those videos where you don't catch anything. I'm sure a lot of viewers are the same way. I know I'm like this. Anytime I watch a fishing video, I'm studying it. I'm not just like letting it play, you know, off in some other room while I go do other stuff. I'm studying everything the fisherman does because I can actually recognize what they're doing in the situation that brought success or failure. And I do the same thing every time I go fishing. If I don't catch a fish, I sort of like review everything I did and I go, okay, this is what I would do differently. That is invaluable information to other people watching your videos, and don't be afraid to post that stuff. But also with not taking yourself too seriously, not being afraid to suck, you gotta have a sense of humor about yourself. So this is something that I've learned personally from a lifetime of experience. You know, all through school, I did a lot of acting, I did a lot of speech and debate stuff. I'm not afraid of being in front of people talking. I'm not afraid of the camera. That's something that, you know, is learned from a lifetime of experience. But, you know, this thing, it's just a camera. And what I usually do when I'm talking to the camera like I am now, I imagine I'm talking to a friend. It makes it a little more loose, makes it a little more fun, and if I screw up, it's par for the course. But you can't make success be your only factor of measurement. So those two kind of tie in together. Number 5 being, if you take yourself too seriously, you shouldn't be on YouTube. Number 4 being, don't be afraid to suck. So it does also a little bit segue into my 3rd piece of advice. It's going to be about your thumbnails. So, you know, mentioning having fun and making it fun, not being afraid to suck, this also does sort of segue into my number 3 piece of advice for people looking to get into YouTube for fishing, is your thumbnails. Now, if I were to give like any technical piece of advice, that's something that, you know, every other YouTuber that has channels dedicated to the technical side of helping people succeed on YouTube, it would be your thumbnails. That's the cover of the book, that's your business card, that's the face you present for your company. That's the first thing people are going to see in your video, and if you can't get them to want to watch your video because your thumbnail sucks, then... But even still, don't be afraid to suck. Your first year should always be your learning year on YouTube. I really don't think I hit my stride with my thumbnails until about a year ago. I sort of found a style that really fit, and it's helped my channel explode in the last year or so. And if you can't tell what I'm talking about, just sort of like scroll down my video list and see the thumbnails, and you'll see some common themes. But that's something you gotta find for yourself, and that's something that you can't be afraid to suck. You can't be afraid to fail, post some thumbnails that didn't get you any views, and find out why. But besides editing, if there is anything you should spend the most time on, it's your thumbnail. It's finding the right picture, it's adjusting the picture. You know, if you don't have Photoshop or if you don't have an editing software that can help you adjust the picture, like contrast, brightness, all that stuff, get one. But your thumbnails have to be fun. Your thumbnails have to convey in one snapshot the context of the video. And you kind of have to put your best face forward. Like I said, it's your business card. If you're introducing someone to your business, a lot of times they look at that business card and that business card isn't enticing, they're not even going to call you. Same thing with YouTube. If that thumbnail isn't enticing, if that thumbnail doesn't make people want to see what's inside the video, they're not even going to click it and not even going to give you a view. But you also can't be deceiving. Now, I know that I've been guilty in the past of posting some thumbnails that have been kind of clickbaity, but when you watch the video, you know there's actually nothing misleading about the thumbnail. You can't be misleading about what's in the video. People are going to see, alright, I see this thumbnail, this is what's going to be in the video, and if there's nothing like that in the video, They're not going to recommend the video, they're going to stop watching. That's going to hurt your video, and over time, people are going to skip past that. That's going to be the click-through rate. That's something that other channels that talk about the technical side of YouTube, the thumbnail is what really activates that click-through rate. If people skip by that, it's going to harm the video, it's going to get less exposure, less views, hurt your channel overall. But enough of the technical side, I want this video to be more fun. My number 2 piece of advice I can give fishermen looking to get on YouTube, and this is something that goes for anything in life. It's one of the most important pieces of advice I can give anyone for anything. Stay consistent. Some of the most successful YouTube channels, one of the biggest things that made them successful is consistent content. They sort of like made a schedule for their videos and they stuck to it. 2 channels that I watch all the time, 2 fishing channels I watch all the time. Catfish and Carp, he posts a video every Saturday morning. Another channel I watch all the time, Tactical Bassin, they post a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. I try to post at least 1 video a week. That consistency has slid slightly, mostly because of a promotion at work, my daughter getting older, spending more time with her, and also needing better editing software that just plain takes longer to edit. But staying consistent, getting something to make people want to keep coming back to your channel, getting a community of viewers is so important, and one of the most important ways to build that community of viewers is staying consistent. I've watched plenty of channels either die or almost die because they stopped posting for a couple months at a time and people just stop coming back to their channel. If people stop coming back to your channel, other people aren't even going to find your channel in the first place. Along with staying consistent is stay true to who you are. Stay true to the message you have for your channel. I founded this channel with the message of spreading the love of fishing, spreading the joy of fishing, something my grandfather gave me, something that he taught me is how to love fishing, truly love fishing and enjoy it even if you're not catching fish. And that's been the core theme, the core message of this channel since day one. That's never changed, that will never change. So go into YouTube with that core message, that core theme that every video is going to convey, everything that's connected to your channel is going to convey, and never change that. Stay consistent with who you are, with what you want for your channel. You do have to evolve, you do have to grow, you do have to expand and improve as a content creator, but never change the message of your channel. My number 1 piece of advice for people looking to get into YouTube for fishing, this is something that actually has nothing to do with filming, has nothing to do with editing, has nothing to do with fishing. Well, it does have to do with fishing, but it's mostly what you do when the camera's off. You have to make time for yourself with what you're doing. That's a valuable lesson I learned in the 2nd year of having this channel. I was feeling the pressure of not being able to make the content I wanted, not being able to make as much content, and it was weighing me down. It was making me hate fishing. That's the last thing you want done if you're trying to get into YouTube for fishing. You're going to learn to have anxiety over what you're doing. Every time you're packing up to go fishing, you're going to be like, oh, is this going to work? Is this going to be the right thing to do? Is this going to be a good video? You can't go into any fishing trip with that mindset. You have to make time for yourself with what you're doing. Still, go fishing and don't film. Just make it fun. Just make it for you. I still at least twice a month go out fishing with no camera. Nothing. I tell people I'm not filming. I'm just going to have fun. If I catch anything, sweet. If I don't, didn't matter. I didn't film. Plus, it's just for me. I'm just, going off trying to test something new or play with something new or just see if I can find one fish type or see if I can catch something I haven't caught before. But I'm making it about me. And that's not being selfish, that's just taking time for yourself to make you enjoy what you're doing. You don't want this to be a job. And along with that, with making time for yourself with what you're doing is don't let YouTube filming, don't let this become a job. Don't let this get in the way of anything else in your life. Case in point with what I talked about at the start of this video is it being a really busy weekend for me. A lot of that was family stuff. Another thing was like some friend stuff that I was doing that I had wanted to do for a really long time, and I'm sitting here going into this weekend like, I'm not going to have time to fish. And you know what? I'm completely okay with it. As soon as this gets in the way, you start taking yourself too seriously. And like I said, we're kind of coming full circle at the start of the video where I talked about my number 5 piece of advice, not taking yourself too seriously. That's when you need to stop. So all the pieces of advice that I just gave, they all connect. They all sort of form a cycle. And you're going to notice on YouTube, you're kind of going to go through these cycles where you're going to take yourself too seriously and you're going to reset and then you're going to get better and then you're going to take yourself too seriously and you're going to reset and you're going to get better. So just to warn you, But yeah, I know you guys have wanted me to make a video like this for a long time now, and you guys have been asking about it a lot, especially recently with how much my channel's been growing and how fast it's been growing. Thank you guys so much for your support, and thank you guys for asking about this. But here's what I want to know. If you are new to YouTube for fishing, let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought about my top 5 pieces of advice, and also anything that you are hoping to hear in this video. But then also, if you're looking to get into YouTube for fishing, let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. I also encourage any experienced YouTube fishermen to get into the comments down below, give your own pieces of advice also. And there was the thunder, that's why I'm not fishing today. So I know this is a different format than my other top 5 videos, and it's a little longer than my other top 5 videos, but if you guys want to see more of those, go back to my channel page. I got a whole playlist of these top 5 videos, check those out. And if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button down there and the notify bell next to it, so you're going to be the first to see all the great content that's going to come from this channel. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, tips up, tight lines, have fun fishing.